Welcome everybody to Basement GP. Happy to have you here. Thank you for poking like, subscribing, following, sharing, whatever, growing the channel. The channel's been growing quite a bit, and it's because of you, so thank you. Today we are going to jump into the installation of the ButtKicker Gamer 2 on this chair that I am sitting in. We're going to run it with an Xbox and see how that is, because that was kind of the most requested comment I've had, were people wanting to see it set up with a console. So we'll set it up with the console in here, run it on this screen, and dive right in. So welcome, let's go. Alright, so welcome. As we get started, thank you guys so much. The channel's been growing a lot lately. A lot of good constructive feedback from you guys. I'm new at this, so thank you. Let's see. As a reminder, thank you for sharing, liking, subscribing. We are going to be doing a giveaway that I will be announcing very soon. What else do we have going on? We're putting together the big sim race, the streamer race. So if you want to participate in that, it'll probably be Assetto Corsa. I hope it's iracing. I hope enough people have iracing. I'll pay and host the race there. So we'll see. If you're interested in being in the streamer race, message me, leave it in the comments below, whatever. That will be coming up at the end of January. Maybe a little sooner, but I think it'll be that third week in January. Okay, so now that we've got all the business aside, let's dive into what we're looking at today. Quick start guide. So I've got all the parts lined out here on the desk. Just dropped a thing. Now the big thing I've got to figure out is what system we're going to hook it up to. So we'll get everything open. I need to open up the amplifier, look at some of that, and I'll walk you through installing everything. It's actually a pretty easy install from what I can tell. Essentially this clamp, which is actually a really cool clamp, unscrews, clamp it on the bottom of the chair, put it in, screw it in, tighten it, start plugging things in. But let's see, before I say how easy it is, let's see if it is easy. Thank you again to the guys at ButtKicker for sending this out. I've been really happy with the ButtKicker Mini that we put in the Mini downstairs. So this will be awesome to have up here in the office, and yeah, let's go from there. So as I've been trying to think about how I'm going to do this, the Xbox only has an optical out, so I think if you want to run it with your Xbox, you're going to have to run it with like an optical to RCA conversion, because everything's analog on the ButtKicker. But I think I have a workaround, and that workaround that I think will work around is I'm going to see if we can go headphone out this cable from the controller, the Xbox controller, because the Xbox controller actually has a headphone jack, right? So we could plug this in, and I think it'll send the audio signal out from the controller into the seat. Now it's a little bit of a workaround. That's one way of doing it. I will say that I did get some software through SimHub for the Sim Mini downstairs. So the Mini is actually running really well. It recognizes the rumble strips. It does really a great job of working with the SimHub. Totally awesome. So SimHub along with the ButtKicker on that Mini downstairs is awesome. We're going to start by trying this on an Xbox to this, so I don't have to pull the computer out of the car to come do this, and we'll just go from there, see if it works. In my mind, this is going to work. Okay, so I believe that we have everything we need here. We've got the ButtKicker, we've got the cables to plug it into the amplifier there, and this end goes to the actual ButtKicker. You can see that is going to connect to that. We've got the Velcro to hook it to the seat, couple of different adapters. I believe we're going to be using this one, controller for the amplifier, and a power cable for the amplifier. So let's get this stuff all plugged in and hooked up. Alright, so the other thing we needed was the Xbox controller. Now you need a new enough one, like the one that came on the 1S, that's going to have this headphone jack. That way you can actually plug in the 3.5 millimeter into there. So this, I think in theory, will be the answer to our problems, kind of as a workaround, but let's install everything and find out. Alright, so I will do this the best that I can with one hand and no filmer. I don't have a cameraman. So we're going to do this the best that we can. So we've got this. We've got to hook that around the seat post, and we'll see how we do. Alright, so I think that I've found a workaround. It's called a cardboard box, and it doubles as a film person. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to just hook this right here, wrap it around. Now, unfortunately, this is the only chair that I have. And there's a lot of goop and stuff because of the hydraulic in this. But I believe it's going to work. Now, I want it to be basically straight back with the chair is what I want. It really doesn't matter, to be honest. It's not going to make a difference where it is in relation, but I wanted it there just so that it's on with it. Now, I don't think it's going to matter right there. I don't think we're going to have that touch, but we want to crank it all the way down, get that nice and tight. Then we're going to undo this, if I have the brain power to figure out how to untwist this twist tie. Let's see, there we go. And then I'm going to have the amplifier and stuff back this way. So we're going to run it, I think I'm going to run it once around the base here, just to take some of the slack out of the line and give it a more direct path. And then we're going to strap it on here using these. So let me just push this a little bit further into your view. And I'm going to want it kind of as tight as I can get it there. If you have friends and an extra set of hands, you might need them here. I have no friends, so we're just going to do it this way. I think that'll be okay doing it that way. So we'll do one more just down here at the bottom. And I am going to try and limit how much extra Velcro we have coming around. But because of the type of Velcro it is, you can just wrap it that way. And voila, we're installed. 2 minutes. Okay, now from here, we need the amplifier, which for now I'm going to put back behind. Power cable for the amplifier. Amplifier cable from the ButtKicker. And if you want to use the controller, you can have it on there. I don't think I'm going to use the controller on this application. So, we might. Let's see how it is once we're installed. So the next thing we're going to do is just undo this and plug it all in. Alright, okay. And then what game are we going to play? I kind of want to test it with a couple of games. I think that we'll probably test this with Need for Speed and then like a shooter game. I need to see if I have a good shooter game. Because those are a couple of the cool games people say that you like to do are race cars and shooters with these. Okay, so this cable, they come together. Nice and tight. Alright, now you're going to have this guy. Looks like a Euro power plug or something. That is going to go into these. Okay, so now that we have these hooked in, we just need to hook this into the controller for now, since that's what we have. We'll hook this into the headphone jack and here, right? So we're going to hook it in there, run it to the system, and let's test this thing out and just see how it works. Okay, so once you kind of have your stuff laid out, I like to just tidy it up, through some zip ties back on and on the power. And basically you're going to want to make sure that you flip the switch on the back to turn that on. And it should be all ready to go. So let's get the Xbox going. Alright, so we are powering up. I've actually never played my Xbox on a monitor like this, just always on the TV, so we will see how this goes. Okay, so moment of truth here. We're going to turn on Need for Speed Heat. In fact, I probably, once we make sure this is working. Now the one thing I didn't think about that you're going to lose is you're not going to have any game audio when you run it straight from this. I can already feel the butt kicker moving, so it is working, but we're not going to have sound, so that's really bad for this demo. I know that there are headsets, like the Turtle Beach headsets and stuff, have separate plugins so that you can plug this into that, and then you get game sound. But the big thing I'm trying to do right now is just make sure that this is going to work with the game. So let's just check that out. Alright guys, so this is what we started with. We plugged in the butt kicker to the Xbox controller through this hole. Kinda worked, kinda didn't work. It was okay. I would not suggest, because the big problem is you lose sound. Once I went to an RCA optical adapter, the thing was golden. It worked a lot better than the ButtKicker Mini did, hooked up to the PC without software. I don't know why that is. It could just be how I've got my stuff set up. It also could be the games. Would I suggest a ButtKicker? Yes, these things are awesome. They work amazingly well, especially at the price point. Especially if you're not wanting to buy just a complete crazy immersive haptic setup for your rig. So for sim racing, would I suggest it? Yes. What's nice about the Gamer is that you're able to use that with other things too. If you're gaming in your chair, you can just move it up, clamp it on, and go. The Mini downstairs, the problem is it'll work fine if I do like first-person shooters, any of that kind of stuff. It's going to work fine, Red Dead. But I have to play all those games in the car on the PC. So I guess this is kind of more of a personal problem. Either one will work fine. It just depends what you need them for. For me, for whatever reason, playing it through the Xbox, through the RCA optical output, worked better than the car does. The car, once I made the adjustments using SimHub, was just fine though. ButtKicker, you guys are awesome. This is great technology. It's really cool stuff. It's simple too, so I'm really not scared that it's going to break. It seems like this stuff is solid. As far as the actual pieces, the actual base shakers on the ButtKicker, very solid, great design. All around, I'm really impressed. Awesome product. If you guys have questions for me about this, leave them in the comments below. Maybe ButtKicker, I know that they watch these videos too, so they might respond to you. I can respond to you. If you have questions you want me to ask them, I can ask them, and we can go from there. Thank you guys. Poke like, subscribe, share, whatever you got to do. Thank you for helping the channel grow. I appreciate it, and we will talk soon.